We are now well past the second month of nationwide lockdown, as it happens to be the 71st day of the extended lockdown today. With rising voices for relaxing the lockdown, but at the same time a massive surge in the number of COVID-19 cases, the country surely braces for critical upcoming days. Good morning, I'm Amar Singh Pradhan, and these are the top stories of the hour. The highest single-day coronavirus cases yesterday and 10 more this morning takes the COVID-19 infection tally in the country to 1,856. 221 people register full recovery so far. The rate of coronavirus infections in Karnali province soars as thousands enter through border transits without health screening. Managing quarantine centers in the province turns challenging. No proper planning in budget distribution witnessed. Finance Minister says budget for projects under MCC will be allocated only after the endorsement from the Parliament. And dozens of journalists covering anti-racism protests that have rocked the US report being targeted by security forces using tear gas and rubber bullets. The number of coronavirus cases in the country has reached 1,856 as 10 more cases were reported this morning. Nepal recorded the highest single-day spike in coronavirus cases so far yesterday as 274 individuals tested positive for the coronavirus. As per the latest information, 5 new cases each were found in Syangja and Parbat districts. Likewise, 274 cases were recorded yesterday, with the most number of cases reported from Daileg. 50 individuals from Daileg tested positive for novel coronavirus. 47 cases were recorded in Kapilvastu, 38 in Sarlai, 21 in Surkhet and 19 each in Jumla and Salyan. Likewise, Rohtahat has recorded 18 new cases, Kailali 14, Nawalparasi East and Dang have recorded 9 cases each, and Bake and Dhanusa 7 cases each. 2 cases were reported each in Acham, Jhapa, Palpa and Mahottari districts. 1 case each was reported from Gulmi, Rupandai, Doti, Baitari, Kanchanpur, Udaipur and Makwanpur. The rapid spread of coronavirus in Karnali has been attributed to the influx of people from India. The government has begun legworks to turn quarantine zones into isolation centers as hospitals have exceeded their capacity. Meanwhile, many quarantine zones have reported of running out of capacity.
स्ट्रक्चरहरूलाई भएका पूर्वाधारहरूलाई आइसोलेसनमा विकास गर्ने सोचमा हामी छौं। त्यो हिसाबले त्यस्ता संक्रमित व्यक्तिहरूलाई जो लक्षण छैन त्यस्ता ठाउँहरुमा राख्ने र त्यस्ता संक्रमित व्यक्तिहरू जसमा लक्षण छ जो बिरामी हुनुहुन्छ उहाँहरूलाई अस्पतालमा राख्ने। यदि त्यस्ता क्वारेन्टाइन वा आइसोलेसनको अपुग भएमा संक्रमित व्यक्तिहरू पनि जो स्वस्थ हुनुहुन्छ अरु हिसाबले पोजिटिभ आएको बाहेक जसमा लक्षण छैन त्यस्ता व्यक्तिहरू घरमै बस्नुपर्ने स्थिति पनि आउन सक्छ।
Based on the latest data by the Health Ministry, around 133,975 individuals are staying in quarantine across the country at the moment. Likewise, 1,625 are in isolation and 221 people have fully recovered from the virus so far in the country. Finance Minister Yuvraj Khatiwada has said budget for projects related to the US-funded Millennium Challenge Corporation would only be released after the agreement on the MCC is endorsed by the Parliament. While responding to questions raised by lawmakers regarding the upcoming annual budget yesterday, Finance Minister Khatiwada said budget for the electricity transmission line under the MCC agreement would be allocated after the Parliament's decision. Disputes had emerged after the government enlisted 5.76 billion rupees as anticipated grant assistance from the US for the construction of the electricity transmission line. In a different context, Finance Minister Khatiwada said the government is not in a position to reduce customs duty on electric vehicles. The government has raised customs duty on imported electric vehicles from the existing 29% to 150%. Finance Minister Khatiwada said the government intends to prevent outflow of millions of rupees with a tax hike and hinted at a revision of the tax once economic situation returns to normalcy. Minister Khatiwada also said that the government had no plans to hand over ownership of community schools to private sector. Minister Kantipur also added that the government has reduced taxes on aviation fuel infrastructure and introduced relief packages for bank interest aimed at economic rehabilitation. Thousands of Nepalese have started flocking to Karnali province on a daily basis using different border transits. This has not only led to significant spike in coronavirus cases in the region, but has also added challenges in keeping the large number of homebound people in quarantine. There are currently at least 23,000 people kept in different quarantine centers in Karnali, while 233 people have tested positive for the coronavirus in the region in the past 2 weeks. More than 23,000 people have thronged Karnali province recently from India and the third countries, along with other districts during the nationwide lockdown. Among the individuals who have been detected with coronavirus in Karnali, a majority are those who have returned from abroad and adjacent Indian districts. Despite using all available resources, the provincial government has been having a hard time to manage and quarantine the homebound people. The hospitals in Karnali currently have 476 isolation wards and 50 ventilators meant for coronavirus patients with serious symptoms. The provincial government is preparing to increase the hospital's capacity in view of the rapidly increasing infection cases. Likewise, there are around 18,100 beds in quarantine centers in the province. A majority of individuals in quarantine are being sent home only after conducting rapid diagnostic tests, which experts warn could risk the community transmission of the novel coronavirus. It has been exactly 19 years since late King Birendra, along with 8 other royal family members, were massacred under suspicious circumstances within a tight security inside Narayanhiti Palace in the capital. The reason behind the massacre and the culprits have still remained unknown. No political party or government till date have ever opted for fair investigation into the incident, which has made the massacre even more suspicious. The public still recalls the royal massacre as an unimaginable nightmare when reigning King Birendra, Queen Aishwarya, Prince Dipendra among 9 royal members succumbed to gunshots amid a family dinner being hosted inside the erstwhile royal palace on the night of 1st of June 2001. A high-level investigation committee comprising the then Supreme Court Chief Justice Keshav Prasad Upadhyay and House Speaker Taranath Ranabhat had convicted deceased Prince Dipendra as the main culprit of the massacre. The people at large, however, still have not been able to accept the allegations against late Prince Dipendra, moreover due to the lack of any reliable evidence against him. The investigation conducted by a political committee right after the massacre appeared as the government's hasty attempt to alleviate the public outrage. The succeeding governments, however, failed to conduct criminal investigation into the incident of such immense magnitude that altered the royal history of Nepal. The lack of free and fair investigation into the massacre has not only caused lingering suspicion among the public, but has also raised serious questions on the country's law and justice mechanism, as justice has remained elusive for even the so-called all-powerful members of the then royal family, including King Birendra. Experts have suggested that although the scenario for fair investigation was not favorable right after the massacre, the drastically changed political circumstances at the moment with availability of many evidences should make it easier to probe into the incident and identify the culprits and intention behind the massacre. Asian Development Bank has pledged for 30 billion rupees of low-interest loan to Nepal. An agreement in this regard was signed between representatives from ADB and the government at the office of the Finance Ministry yesterday. ADB has extended the support to Nepal for economic and social reforms. The government is preparing to utilize the loan to establish a quarantine facilities with a 200,000-bed distribution of relief materials and creating employment opportunities for daily wage workers who have lost their jobs due to the ongoing nationwide lockdown. Likewise, the Finance Ministry has said the loan would be used to support small and medium-scale industries in restarting their businesses. And now time for our segment Public Pulse, where you text us with your opinion.
Public Pulse.
And the question is, why have criminal investigations not been carried out on Royal Massacre? Your options are option A, lack of motivation, option B, unwilling to take risk, and option C, ploy of those in power. The voting for the question is on. Type in AWS, select your option A, B or C and send it to 34001 to share your opinion with us. And those were our latest headlines. Stay with us for more news and entertainment on KTVSD. Stay home, stay safe and have a good day.